Hi everybody, I'm Linda. Welcome to or welcome back to No Deliveries Here. Today is Wednesday, March 25th. It is 11:25 a.m. on a balmy 37 degrees, overcast with a slight breeze. I'm done over I'm over the cold weather already. Our temperatures have been in just the past like 6 days, 79 degrees, sunshine, birds singing, beautiful. You just want to put on a pair of shorts and your sport bra, and that's it. You don't want to, and you don't want any flannel sheets or blankets on the bed. And next thing you know, it was 16 degrees the other day. Today's Wednesday. Monday we had 16 degrees, overcast, bitter cold, windy with gust, and today we're at 37. So yeah, it's a tilt-a-whirl of weather that I think not just me, lots of other people are experiencing. Excuse me. So today I'm sitting. This is one of my pantry racks. This whole room used to be where our two youngest, when they were still here with us, they had their lofts up at the top. We have since removed one loft and are in the middle of deciding whether we want to keep that one for storage or take it out and put shelves all the way up. But this was their room, and it is now my pantry, and it's quite a big pantry. And we are actually getting ready to add more insulation, put some tongue and groove pine boards. We started in the back section there, and the boards got really expensive and funds got tight, and it was like, okay, I don't really care about cosmetic stuff. Let's just do insulation, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. It's like Better Homes and Gardens and Architecture Digest and Pinterest, and I'm like, I don't care. I want a functional pantry, and we had to block off all the windows so that it stays. We need insulation, but not a lot of insulation, because we do want to keep everything cool, dark, and dry. So this is one part. This rack here is mostly dry goods. Let me see if I can show you. Up here is dried fruits, and some of the jars I have to refill, but there's dates, raisins, cranberries, coconut, apricots, things like that. Over this side is cacao nibs, cacao powder, assorted chocolate chips, vanilla chips, butterscotch, cocoa powders, coconut, things like that. Down here I have baking soda, arrowroot powder, sugar, pizza flour. I've got 7-grain flour, semolina flour. I've got a bag of egg replacer. The shelf below that has chia seeds, sesame seeds, assorted nuts and seeds. Let me see. It's got barley, some wheat berries, my popcorn, bulgur wheat, things like that. And there's one more bottom shelf. And the bottom shelf has the bottom shelf has dried beans, lentils, split peas, things like that. And these are just jars that these here, they're just, and I'm all over. I'm sorry. You might as well say I've answered my pants or something. Obviously, I did not major in film work and school. It was nursing and psychology. And it's a very good thing I did not major in film studies. But these are just my working, easy access working. I actually have backup for all of this in 5-gallon buckets, 3-gallon buckets, Mylar bags, all of that. So the room I'm in is actually my working pantry. And then I have and I do have some buckets here. There's some over here. There's a canner here. You can see some buckets there. And the back half has a lot of shelves with different things. But this is my working pantry. on this side, I have a video. I'm trying to figure out how to edit it. It came out so bad, I'm going to have to redo it. But I have some black cubbies, and that has the jars and the food that I can. It has my meats, my soups, my beans, my vegetables, my fruits, my pie fillings, all of that stuff over there. But again, this is a working pantry, and I refill from my long-term buckets, pantries, shelves, things like that. So anyway, now that that's out of the way, I thought I would come back and talk to you today. There's a lot going on in the world, a whole lot. Prices are going. I'm not even sure they are going. I believe they're going to be out of the stratosphere. So this might be I wanted to talk about trying to save some money, some frugality, and then, but also saving money. I believe preparedness and frugality go hand in hand. I don't believe in fear mongering. I don't believe in doomsday. I don't, I used to tell people I'm not worried about a zombie apocalypse. I'm worried about the grandkid apocalypse. Okay. So, but I do believe preparedness and frugality go hand in hand in a lot of ways. And like I said, no fear mongering, nothing like that. I don't believe in that. There's a lot of channels out there who right now are doing a lot of fear mongering, doomsday. Get this before April 1st. Get this before the end of April. You should have got this last month. And yeah, a lot of that is, maybe, but there's a lot of reasons why people didn't do that, because everybody's financial journey is different. Everybody's level of being prepared is different. There's lots of different reasons, but I don't believe in coming on here and say, you need to get this right now before April 1st or by the end of April or whatever. So, this isn't that type of channel. But I did want to talk a little bit about frugality and being prepared for the grandkid apocalypse. So, first of all, do not compare yourself to influencers, what you see on Pinterest, because obviously my pantry, and I live in a cabin that we have been working on for 25 years. It'll be 26 years in August that we've been here. And I got to tell you, it's comforting. It's home. My grandchildren like being here. I like being here. We like being here. It's a home. It's not Pinterest. It's not Instagram. It's not Architecture Digest. I don't even know if they still have that anymore. Oh my gosh, I feel old. But anyway, don't compare yourself to others out there. A lot of the times when you see these influencers in these beautiful kitchens and these beautiful patios and all of this, it's coming out that they're actually renting those kitchens to show you what life should be, but it's not their real kitchen. They rent it. They rent a car for the day to show you, hey, this is what wealth looks like. Hey, I'm on a private jet, or maybe they are in a private jet and maybe they do have that house, but there's probably a lot of debt that goes along with that. And, so first of all, don't compare yourself to people like that. Secondly, we had a dream years ago, decades ago. I had a dream before I even met my husband that I didn't want to be in the rat race forever. I was going to do my time in the military. I did 6 years as an Army nurse. I was going to do my time in the military. I was going to finish my schooling, have degrees in psychology and nursing, and then I wanted to work, but I didn't want, and both of those professions are extremely stressful, especially nursing, very, very stressful. And then with psychology, I look at my family, meaning, my siblings, my extended family, and, I have an idiot ex-husband. So I used to joke, it's like, who am I to tell somebody else they're crazy? Or, yeah, you're not depressed, or you need to do more. It's like, I would always joke. It's like, when I look around at my family, who am I to tell you that your family is wrong and you're doing things wrong? But both of those were very stressful professions. And I knew I wanted to be able to enjoy my life and enjoy my kids. So my dream was to live as frugally as possible. And I hate the word cheap. I think that's degrading. And be able to reach my goals, which was get out of the rat race. So when I married my husband, we were on the same page. We wanted to have a dream of not being in the rat race, especially with both of us coming from large cities. We just wanted something. So I used to make a game out of it. When we were starting out, I made a game. What's the least amount of money we could live on per month? What about 6 months? What about a year? What could we do to make changes to reach our dreams without feeling deprived? Because you don't want to go so bad that you feel deprived. So I made a game out of it, and that helped a lot. Back in 92, my friend introduced us, and this was the biggest thing back then. There was an Amy decision in the Tightwad Gazette. Well, I actually have the complete Tightwad Gazette, and every once in a while I'll look through it, and it's outdated. A lot of those suggestions in there and tips are very outdated, but a lot of them could still be useful today. One of the tips in there, and I actually remember this from Harry Potter, it was the very first Harry Potter movie, and I don't remember what his cousin's name was. Dudley. I think it was Dudley. But I remember it from Harry Potter, and I remember it from the Tightwad Gazette. It was called The Wow Factor. Now, in Harry Potter, Dudley was opening his birthday presents, and he was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 17, whatever. He was counting, and he got really upset and had a fit. There's only, I think it was 35. Last year, I got 36. I have one less than last year. And right away, the parents were like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. We'll get you another one. We'll do something else. We'll make it up to you. We'll get you 10 more. Well, in the Tightwad Gazette book, Amy mentions the wow factor, which is you give your kid 1 year 3 presents for Christmas. Next year, he gets 6. The following year, he gets 12. The next year, he's getting 20. And it would build up like that. And then finally the kid is like, yeah, I really wish I would have got the yellow one. I don't really like the red one. Tosses it away. Yeah, this one's okay. It's not really what I'd like, but I guess it's okay. Plays with them for a little bit, and then the more he got, the more it didn't appeal to him or her. And it was like, yeah, okay, and they'll go play with something else. And it was like, because the wow factor was all the way up here, and then it plummeted and it went all the way down there. It's the same thing with adults today. When you go to Starbucks, and I don't go to Starbucks, when you go to Starbucks, you're like, wow, that's really good. I treated myself to a cup of coffee, and I actually have seen that Starbucks prices have gone up. It's extra charges for the syrups. They don't include the flavors. It's like a whole thing. I mean, there's the cake pops, I think, are $4.95. Someone told me, and I'm like, yeah, that's like outrageous, you know. But you go and you're like, wow, I enjoy that cup of coffee, and then you go the next day, and you go the next day. And then afterwards, it's like, you know what? This coffee doesn't taste as good as it first did. Yeah, I'm not that impressed. But you keep going back, and it's like, why do you keep going back? Or you take your kids to Dairy Queen, right? And you take them to Dairy Queen, 3 or 4 times a week. You take them to Dairy Queen. Or some people do it every week. And then something happens, and you don't have the money to take your kids to Dairy Queen because they've been expecting it. And when they say, hey, Mom, Dad, aren't we going to Dairy Queen today? We go to Dairy Queen every day. How come we're not going today? They get upset because, Well, we can't go today. Something's come up. We just can't afford it right now for whatever reason. The kids get, but we've gone to Dairy Queen all the time. Why can't we go to Dairy Queen right now? I really want some Dairy Queen. But if you take your kids once every 2 weeks for ice cream or once a month and make it, let's go out, we'll pack a lunch, we'll go to the park, go to the library, whatever it is, depending on the season. And then after that outing, you go and you get an ice cream as a treat. They'll appreciate that a lot more, as opposed to going every day. And then when you can't go, again, it's that, oh, we got ice cream, we got ice cream, we got ice cream, we got ice cream. Oh, hell no, we can't get any ice cream. And they're all upset. So, look out at the wow factor. I want to say we still had all the kids at home and we hadn't moved here yet. We all watched the Nightmare Before Christmas. And it was that song, Making Christmas. And I know I can't carry a tune, so feel free to let me know in the comments. I know I can't. So our kids, and we had a 2-story house, and I would tell the kids, pick up your stuff, get it all put away, pick up your stuff. Anything that you leave laying around after 2 days, my husband said after 2 days, it's going in the trash. I would clean up and I would put it on the stairs. Well, I would put it on the stairs. So when my husband's like, no, if you can put it on the stairs, they can carry it the rest of the way. It's like, okay. It would sit on the stairs for like 3 days. My husband would come along with a trash bag and chuck it all in there. If they left it laying around, he would chuck it all in there. And we did this throughout. We talked about it. And my husband's like, making Christmas. So he collected all their stuff, and I did too. We collected anything they left laying around. We collected. Do you know, they did not really come up and say, hey, Mom, Dad, where'd that go? Did you see Stretch Armstrong? Did you see this doll? Did you see this book? Nobody ever said anything. By the time the holiday came around, Christmas, well, we celebrate Yule. By the time the holiday came around, we pulled out those bags, and now they did get other gifts, but we wrapped everything that we had collected over the past months, and we put it out under our Yule tree, and the kids were like, wow, went overboard. Our oldest was like, went overboard a little bit there, Mom and Dad. And it was like, it was a really good year this year. So, now granted, there's five of them. They start tearing into stuff, and it's like, hey, wait a minute. And they held it. Look, that's right. This has been missing. I haven't seen such and such in so long. And my husband is sitting at the dining room table going, making Christmas. He actually carries a better tune. He plays guitar and he can't sing. But it was like even though we didn't have a lot, they had more than enough so that they didn't even realize it was missing. Now, my parents had money, and but money doesn't mean everybody's happy. Money does not mean it's a happy family and things are all hunky-dory and roses and it's perfect. And I have the PTSD to prove it. But my parents would always make it, and if some of you are older, my parents would make it so that FAO Schwartz and Toys R Us and Playworld, there was another toy store years ago, in fact, when I was a kid, Lionel Playworld, FAO Schwartz in New York, there was Lionel Playworld, and then Toys R Us came around. They would have it that those toy stores exploded in their living room when my kids would go for Christmas. And we can't compete with that. And my husband would tell, we can't compete with that. We work hard for our money. We have 5 kids. do not spoil them. So again, and then my kids, luckily they realized that, okay, because when they came home, they saw what the actuality was. They saw that they can give them all of this, but you can't buy love and you can't buy respect. 1 year, all of our kids, all 5 of them, and the youngest was, I don't know, a year old, 2, they all got brand new bikes. Every one of them got brand new bikes. And I'm not talking about a tricycle or whatever. I mean, full-on bikes. The 3 oldest, 1990, so 17. The oldest was 1990. One was born in 1990. One was born in 77. So I can't do the math right now. But they were teenagers. Every one of them were teenagers. My brain. Let me get a sip of coffee or a mocha, and maybe my brain will work. But most likely, probably not. But anyway, they all got brand new bikes. The 3 older ones got 10 speeds because that was all they had at the time. And the 2 younger ones got a regular full-size bike. And it was like, I just don't understand it. So don't compare yourself to everybody else out there. Don't compare yourself to other families, Pinterest, Instagram, anything you see out there, because you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So now that I got that out of the way, a couple of ways we save money. And one of the main reasons you want to be frugal, at least for us, we had dreams. We wanted to get out of the rat race. We wanted to be able to help our grandkids go to school, and our kids and our grandkids go to school if they wanted to pursue a higher education. For a lot of different reasons. We had something at the end of that rainbow that we were aiming for. It wasn't a pile of gold, but it was freedom. It was freedom from the rat race and financial freedom to the best that we could do. So, and I might have touched on this in my other video where I talk about how we live frugally. And we're already at, oh my gosh, I can't see. Okay, 22 minutes. Have to take them off to see up close, but need them to see far away and then block the light. We use bar soap. Bar soap is so much more cost effective than body wash. Bar soap is so much more effective. And if you get an all-in-one soap like Dr. Bronner's, you can use it for your hair. And I've used it on this long hair, and it's worked fine. My husband has long hair. It works fine. We've used it on our kids. They have all different scents. You can get citrus, rose, tea tree, peppermint, unscented. Bar soap is so much more efficient than a body wash. Plus, there's less trash. And because even though plastic can be recycled, not all plastic is recyclable. And there's a whole other host of problems with the way that recycling is actually done. So bar soap, cheaper, better for your wallet, better for the environment, for the planet. You see me flow junk mail. I do not buy. Now, I do keep a journal, and I will, and I keep a household binder. So I do buy loose leaf paper for that, and a composition book, like those marble ones, Catholic school memories. That's what we used in Catholic school. I still use those. But for just notes, grocery list, I'm old school. I like paper and pencil and, pen and paper. But I just use scrap paper. If I don't write things down, I'll forget, because my brain's always going with a million things. I need to finish working on that quilt. I got to start the tomato seeds. I got to start the celery seeds. I got to schedule the cat for the vet if he's a stray. So if we can ever catch him, he'll go to the vet. Things like that. But I just use scrap paper. If something's printed on the front and the back is blank, I use it. These are actually the backs from my seeds that I ordered from Fedco. I cut the front part off with the information, and I put that in an envelope. I put my seeds in a smaller thing. And these are just little notes that I actually took notes on for this video. Printed on the back. I use this side. And these are good. This was a whole thing that American Express sent me, filled with a lot of junk in there, fancy, everything all fancy, a nice texture of the paper or whatever. Keep wanting me to update my card, and I'm like, it's $895 a month, an annual fee, and maybe if you didn't waste all the money on all this stuff, you could lower that fee a lot more. That's another thing. Don't use a credit card that has an annual fee. That is absolutely stupid. So thanks, American Express, for scrap paper. So I don't buy notepads. I use scrap paper that comes from wherever. Off-brands, store brands, generic brands, they're usually just as good as the name brands. And a lot of times, the name brand and the off-brand are packaged in the same facility, and they're usually by the same company. But if they put Nestle on this one and good old hot cocoa on here, they can charge a lot more for this. You usually get less, and people will pass this one by because I don't really recognize that name. So let's stick with the Nestle, even though it costs more. And they won't even give the off-brand a chance. Taste it. Make your own at home. So there's that. There is one thing I don't buy a lot of cleaners. I make my own cleaners. Vinegar, baking soda. I do use some bleach because we have to treat our water, and I do certain cleaning things once a month for sanitation. But basically it's vinegar, white vinegar, bleach, borax. White vinegar, bleach, borax is basically what I use. Oh, baking soda. Borax, baking soda, white vinegar, and bleach. That's basically all I do to clean with. And you can save your citrus peels, orange, lemon, lime, mandarins, grapefruit, whatever. Save your peels, put them in a jug, pour some vinegar over it, let it sit for about 2 or 3 weeks, strain it out, and you've got citrus-scented vinegar to clean with. So there's that. Dawn dish soap, or the Great Value brand, is basically the same. There's a price difference on the huge bottles of almost $3. And I do buy the Great Value brand dish soap only because it's really good for cleaning off grease. If a stray shows up and they've got some fleas or something, I can use it for that. That is, but basically I use Castile soap. Again, you can get it by Dr. Bronner's. Azure sells it. Castile soap is extremely concentrated. You can dilute it with water, so you can get your Dr. Bronner's bars or Castile bars, or you can get the concentrated liquid, and you can dilute it down. You can use it for laundry, you washing your hands, washing your dishes, cleaning, and I'll even add some of that soap to my vinegar when I'm cleaning. But basically, I use Castile soap, the liquid. Again, you can get tea tree, citrus, rose, peppermint, lemon, unscented, all sorts. So Castile soap is used here a lot and for dishes. But I do use the Walmart brand of the Dawn soap, like I said, for grease and things like that. And I'm looking down for my notes, and I really want to try and not get these too long. Otherwise, I'll have to make 2 videos because people don't like long videos. Even though I'm not really showing a whole lot, you can just put it on as in the background and listen while you're going about your day. Combined trips. Gas is outrageous. The last time I went out was March 2nd. I paid $2.37 a gallon for gas. Let's see, on Friday, I heard that gas now is $3.29 a gallon, and I paid $2.37 a gallon. So combine your trips. If where we go to shop, it's basically a loop. So I can either come off the interstate or take the back way, depending on what I'm doing. And the street turns into a one-way. So I start at one end, I make all my stops, I come around, make all my stops, fill up with gas, and come home. I don't go down this end of the town to get this and then come back to this end of the town to go all the way back over there, to go over here. No, I don't do that. I follow the loop, and I'll actually make a list, and I will put 1, 2, 3, so I know where I'm stopping first, because I'm going to start at that end of town if I take the back roads and I have a doctor's appointment, or I'm going to start at this end of town if I'm taking the interstate to go to the landfill or the dentist, because doctor at this end of town, dentist at that end. But I follow a loop, and I don't waste time driving around. It's not just time, it's my gas, but time too. Time's important. You don't want to waste time. We can't get our time back. And when you get older, you really can't get your time back. The other thing, is it cheaper with gas and the distance you have to drive and figure in your time? Is it cheaper to, and I don't know why I keep saying cheaper, is it more better financially to have that item or that order, whatever, delivered to you? If it's a local place that does delivery, believe me, nobody delivers to us out here. We can't get deliveries. I can't even get mail. Do you think Walmart's going to deliver here? Fat chance of that. But if you can get delivery, and even though you have to include a tip with the price of gas and your time and everything, wear and tear on your car, your vehicle, whatever, is it cheaper to get it delivered? Is it cheaper to have it shipped? Again, time, wear and tear on your vehicle, the whole thing, cost of gas. So figure in that when you're trying to decide, do I really need to go to the store? Should I just have it delivered? Is there a way you could save some money there? My seed packet note. Bulk is not always cheaper. I guess that word's going to keep coming out, even though I don't really like it a whole lot. Bulk is not always cheaper. So you need to check unit pricing. So many people don't even know what unit pricing is. On that little shelf label, it'll give you the total price of, say, that bag of sugar. But then it's also going to tell you the price per ounce, per pound, whatever. So when you look at that price, look at the unit price. And then if sugar is a 4-pound bag, a 10-pound bag, and a 25-pound bag, and I'm just going by Walmart. So you want to check your unit pricing on the 4-pound bag, on the 10-pound bag, and the 25-pound bag. So most people would say that 25-pound bag of sugar is going to be cheaper than buying the 10-pound bag or the 4-pound bag. Well, I did that math, and as soon as I figure out, wrote it over here. So a 4-pound bag of sugar at Walmart is $2.97 or 4.6 cents per ounce. A 25-pound bag of sugar at Walmart is $20.42 or 5.1 cents an ounce. And that's the current price as of last night when I put these figures down. I bought a 25-pound bag of sugar on March 2nd, and I paid $19.97. I happened to check on March 3rd because it was like, I've got to get more sugar because canning season's coming up. And I was like, my son was going to the store, so I figured if he's going, he'll grab my pickup order. From the time I purchased that sugar, I want to say I was at the store, it was about 4 o'clock, 4:30. By the time I purchased that sugar at $19.97, by that morning on March 3rd, the sugar had jumped to $20.42. It hadn't even been 24 hours. So 25 pounds of sugar is not your better bargain. Your better bargain is the 4-pound bag of sugar because it comes out cheaper. Plus, sometimes I can't lift those 25-pound bags of sugar, so 4 pounds works fine. Another bulk item, just to give you comparisons here. Now, we don't have a Costco nearby, and we don't have a Sam's Club nearby. Costco is about 4.5 hours away. Sam's is about 2.5 hours away. But we do have an Azure pickup, and that's 2.5 hours away in the opposite direction. Azure's over here where I do all my shopping and the doctor's at. Sam's Club's way 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes, way over there where I really don't go. But Azure's over this way. So with bulk items, and this is not sponsored. None of my videos are sponsored. I'm lucky I can figure out how to edit. Let's not push the envelope here, okay? So Azure is, and there's lots of videos online about Azure. There is no membership fee. You can buy in bulk. They have single items or bulk items, and organic, non-organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, all that good stuff. They do have a lot of healthy items. So I do buy rolled oats I buy rolled oats and steel cut oats or Scottish oats. Steel cut or Scottish are the same ones. They're sometimes called Irish oats also. Rolled oats on Azure, organic, 50 pounds, is $52.89, $1.06 per pound, or 0.667 cents an ounce. That's rolled organic oats, 50 pounds at Azure. Walmart rolled oats, organic, their brand, is an 18-ounce container for $3.58 or 20 cents an ounce. To get 50 pounds of organic rolled oats from Walmart in those little 18-ounce containers would cost you $158.95. Regular rolled oats on Azure is 50 pounds. These are non-organic, 50 pounds for $30.48 or 61 cents per pound. Regular rolled oats at Walmart, their brand, is a 42-ounce container. It is $4.18 or 10 cents an ounce. To get 50 pounds of regular non-organic rolled oats, Walmart brand, would cost $81.51. That's a difference of almost $30 between organic rolled oats at Azure and Walmart non-organic oats. Now I also checked Bob's Red Mill. Bob's Red Mill, their oats, rolled oats, come in a 2-pound bag for $6.28 or 19.6 cents an ounce. To get 50 pounds of Bob's organic rolled oats, it would, and if that's, I don't know if they sell them in bulk. I just know the 2-pound bag because that's what's available at Walmart. So to get 50 pounds of Bob's Red Mill oats would cost $157 even. So at Azure, I get 50 pounds for $52.89. If I was to buy Bob's rolled oats to get 50 pounds, I would be paying $102.89 more. So even if you don't think you could use 50 pounds or 25 pounds, you can get them in 25-pound bags. See if there's somebody you can share with. Go in and 3 or 4 people, hey, and divide it up. So always check your bulk pricing. Most of the time, bulk is going to be cheaper, but not all the time. And the thing with buying bulk, if you buy bulk, you need to know how to store it. Are you vacuum sealing it? Are you Mylar bagging it? Whether it's a dry good or if you're buying a bulk bag of carrots, are you pressure canning those? Are you dehydrating those? Are you using them in soups? Are you freezing them? I don't have a freeze dryer or dehydrator, but if you're going to buy stuff in bulk, I'm getting nervous. My leg is shaking, so excuse me if you're shaking. If you're buying in bulk, make sure you know how you're going to store that food and preserve it before you order that and before you bring it home. and I'm up to 39 minutes. So I'm going to do just a couple more, and then I'll make a part 2. So, the oats. Popcorn. Popcorn's a cheap snack. I buy it in 10 or 25 pound bags, depending on how much room I have in the car, weight. Remember, we have the road that it's not a road. It's not a road. And if I put too much weight in the car, even with the 3-inch lift and the oversized tires, we bog down. And that's why I have a come along and toe straps in my vehicle at all times. Popcorn's a great snack. It's cheap. Buy just the kernels, pop them yourself. I have a stove popper, and it works great. I pop it with a little bit of olive oil and salt, and then I sprinkle nutritional yeast on it. My husband, I add salt, a little bit of sugar, pop it in coconut oil, and he gets a type of kettle corn. He likes sweets. I don't. Popcorn's good. Eggshells. Do you spend money to buy calcium to add to your garden? I save my eggshells. I rinse my eggshells, I dry them, and I go saving them. And when the container I have gets filled, I grind them in my food processor. It's a Black & Decker food processor from the early 80s, I think. And I've had it for years. I actually found it used at a thrift store in, I want to say, around 1987 or so, 89. I paid $5 for it. Still going strong. So I grind up my eggshells. I save them in a container. We add them to the compost. We add them to the garden. It's a lot cheaper, and I just save them throughout the year. Composting is good. Helps with your garden. When you drain your vegetables or your beans or anything like that, we always add that liquid to our compost, and it helps feed our garden. So we do that. If you get packages, do you get brown packing paper in there? I do. I get brown packing paper. I flatten it out. You can iron it, flatten it out and decorate it, and you can make wrapping paper. You can give it to your kids or grandkids as drawing paper. They can paint, draw, or whatever, on that paper. Sometimes you get these huge sheets. I'm 5 foot tall, and I swear some of those sheets that they stuff in there are twice my size. They're also the brown paper. It's great for cleaning windows. Drawing paper, painting paper, cleaning windows, wrapping paper, decorated, whatever. Let's see. When did every holiday become a gift holiday? Since when are we giving gifts for St. Patrick's Day? Really? We need a St. Patrick's Day basket. We need a boo basket. We need a Summerween basket. We need a basket and gifts for everything. When did that happen? Because that just floors me. It used to be an Easter basket was a little basket. You got a little toy, and you got a chocolate bunny and maybe some jelly beans, and that was about it. Now you see all these people online doing baskets, whether it's a Burr basket for cold weather. We've got the Valentine's basket. We got a Halloween we got a basket for everything, including St. Patrick's Day. I'm pretty sure that we'll have a basket for the 4th of July. Actually, I think they do. But why do we have to give gifts for everything? And why does each basket that you build have to be filled with anywhere from $50 to $200 worth of items? Seriously, people. Seriously. And when did we decorate and have to change the color of our toilet paper, the color of the paper towels, the color of the butter holder thing, butter dish, thank you, the color of the laundry pods or anything like that to match every holiday? Every holiday is a complete restock, or every season, everything's a theme. And it's just money, money, money. If you try to follow influencers, you're going to end up broke. If you try to follow influencers, the influencers are going to keep you from being frugal, saving money, and reaching your dreams. And while I'm on that subject, do you really need scent beads? I don't use scent beads. I swear some of those bottles are like $15 for scent beads. It's like it's overpowering. It's worse than probably walking through a bordello by the time people are done with some of their laundry. Seriously. I don't understand it. You put scent beads and then you're putting fabric softener sheets, and it's like, if I'm out sometimes, the smell is overwhelming. I have asthma and I suffer with migraines, and it is overwhelming. I don't even use fabric softener. Well, first I hang my laundry. So when you're hanging laundry inside or outside, you can dump a bottle of fabric softener in there. Believe me, it's not going to help. I do use vinegar. Vinegar, plain white vinegar, works well for softener. It will remove the extra, any soap residue or anything that's left. You can pour a little bit in your rinse cycle, or you can just take a cloth, like a washcloth, a heifer washcloth, just anything, and put some plain white vinegar on it. If you're using a dryer, throw it in there. It works. But $15 on scent beads, and then we have to have the blue scent beads for this and the pink for this, and then it's Valentine's Day, we need pink, and it's Easter, we need blue and yellow. It's like, get over yourself, people. And then also, can you line dry your clothes? Now, I know if you live in an apartment, you may not be able to hang stuff over the balcony, but can you put a drying rack in there? Can you hang a clothesline inside your house? Can you put something in the bathroom? I have a clothesline outside, and then I have drying racks, and I have actually a clothesline that is right above my loft, because my loft in my bedroom's here, and the stovepipe is right here for the main stove. So I hang my clothes there to dry. Plus, when I hang the clothes in the winter, it helps add moisture into the air with the humidity, so it's not as dry in here. Works absolutely great. I don't buy fancy stain removers. A bar of Zote soap, which I'm not sure how much it is now. When I bought them, they were 97 cents. That works great on stains. It really does. Moisten your soap, moisten your stain, rub some on it, and you can throw it right in the wash. You can let it sit for a day or two. Just put that Zote on there, and it works. And that bar of soap, they're quite large. They'll last a long time for stain remover, and I'm not contributing with a lot of plastic and chemicals into the environment. So there's that. And I know this is getting really long, and I'm sorry. How many scented candles does one person need? Seriously. Again, you've got your whole house is already smelling from scent beads, from all the smells that you're using in the laundry, your array of body washes, shampoos, lotions, and all this. And then you want to, and not to mention the smell of all the cleaners, and then you want to add scented candles. How many scented candles do you need, honestly? And do you need to change that candle out just because it's shaped for winter and it's spring and it's hardly even burnt? Honestly, how many scented candles do we need? Take care of what you do own, which means our boots, our hiking boots and our sneakers, we use a waterproofing spray. We take our shoes outside. It's kind of like Scotch Guard stuff, I guess. And we waterproof our hiking boots, our sneakers. We waterproof a lot of that, and we take care of it. If the shoelaces get ruined in my sneakers, I don't throw out the whole pair of sneakers. I just put new shoelaces in it. If it gets a hole, there's this thing called shoe goo, and you can fix the sole of your shoe. I mean, seriously, good boots, hiking boots, good winter boots like Sorel, and good sneakers cost money. Take care of them. If they get wet, if they get muddy, brush all that off and clean them up and let them dry. If they you can put baking soda or charcoal inside, and that helps with any odor. So there's that. Whether it's take care, don't let your kids, if they have a bike, don't leave it laying outside so it can get rusted, the chain, the brakes, or whatever, or just laying around. Their toys, their backpacks, their coats, their hats. Learn to take care and teach your children to take care of what you have. Things are getting more and more costly to replace. Learn to repair and take care of what you have. YouTube University is a great place to learn how to do repairs from plumbing to some electrical without going, with your hair. So, but basic stuff, YouTube University is really good. Trash bags. Now, do we not buy trash bags? Of course not. Of course we do. We buy trash bags. I have bags. We never know, what's for whatever. We have trash bags. We have contractor bags. But the funny thing is, I don't use them mostly for trash. They hardly get used for trash. So let me show you over here. This bag held 3.15 pounds of cat food. When I open, and they've got a, you guys have pets. It's got a little lighter inside. See that? We compost as much as we can. We reduce, recycle. So most of my food is in jars. So I rewash that. The little flats, I reuse them on dry goods. I also punch holes and hang them up and hang other things on them to try and keep the deer away from the garden, although nothing ever really works. But anyway, the few things that I can't compost, which is like greasy stuff or things like that, we put in these bags. And I have a little basket in my kitchen, like a waste basket type you put in a bedroom, just those little ones. And I put this bag in there, and I will put gooky stuff in here, and there's not much. And I put this in here, so I'm not buying a bag. The lining keeps anything from going out, and when it gets full or halfway, I push it down, and then I tape it really, really good. And then we put it outside, and we kind of spray it with bleach or something, because we have to keep it locked up from the bear and the raccoons. But these make great trash bags. You can even use them in the bathroom. They make great trash bags. My oats, this bag held 25 pounds of organic steel cut oats. The 50-pound bags are twice the size. They make great trash bags. I don't have to buy trash bags. Sorry. Another cat food bag. They make great trash bags. I buy rice in 20-pound bags. Trash bag. Now the bigger bags I use for regular trash. And I will put this size in another can in my kitchen. And this only gets what can't be recycled, or can't be composted, or that's not icky. And we generate very little trash, and this empty 20-pound rice bag will take me almost a month to fill. So there's lots of things you can use for trash bags without buying trash bags. Now that doesn't mean you don't keep trash bags on hands, and I'll explain why in another video. Okay, in another video, earlier video, I shared a lot of our reusable things that we do so that I don't have to buy paper goods. Like, I explained how long a package of paper towels lasts, and that we use face cloths, and I use actual cloths, and I use cotton rounds and reusable panty liners. Everything can be washed, and it's reusable, so it's not wasteful. One thing I forgot to share, but it came up with repairing what you have, and this is stained. It's old, but somebody gave me, they were like, I'm getting a new Swiffer. I get a new one every 6 months. Do you want this one? And I was like, what's wrong with it? Nothing. I just get a new one every month. They get dirty. I was like, all right, sure. What were you going to? Oh, I was just going to take it to the landfill. Okay, sure. It had a long handle. We have tall ceilings in some places. I figure I can really reach up there without having to get on a step stool, because I am the gold medalist of being a klutz. So she gave me this Swiffer, and I have had this. And I remember when I got it because I had my granddaughter with me, and she is 16. So she was 3. So I've had this for 13. She was 3 years old when I got this. And yeah, it's a little dirty on the bottom because I haven't cleaned it yet, but the top part's pretty clean because I do clean it off and I sanitize it with vinegar and baking soda. And you can see there's part of the original handle up here. But the handle was so cheaply made, like a really, yeah, I mean, it was just cheap. It was supposed to be, it's not stainless steel. It's like a thicker aluminum or something, but it was hollow inside. And I was doing the floor with the reusable pad, and the damn thing broke. And I was like, what the hell? Seriously? So my husband's like, what's wrong? I said, the Swiffer broke. I was like, and I wouldn't have bought one anyway. I have a mop, a real mop, you know, and I wouldn't have bought one. I wouldn't have spent the money on it. And I said, oh, well, that sucks. And my husband's like, give it to me. I was like, okay. We had some, when we had done some plumbing and stuff, this is PVC pipe. We had an extra pieces of pipe laying around. So, if you could see, my husband's repaired it there. This green part, this is all the original Swiffer. These are 2 sections that he had of PVC. And he put some duct tape up here. He made it colorful for me. And this has been repaired. And I've been using it like this for probably 6 years, like this. And no, longer. I think I've been using this probably like this for 10 years because I didn't have it that long before it broke. So yeah, it's been about 10 years because that's when we bought this type of PVC for some plumbing outside. So yeah, it's been about 10 years and it's been going strong. Now, before you come at me in the comments and go, oh, you are cheap. No, I am not cheap. I spend money on what counts, which is my pressure canners, which is jars, which is good boots, which is healthy food, which is quality time with my grandchildren, which is my garden seeds, taking care of all the stray cats that show up, and occasionally a stray dog. And, you know, I spend money on what's important. I'm not cheap, but I'm not really sure how much I'm not really sure how much a Swiffer goes for now. But, yeah, my husband fixed that for me and it works and it's going good. So why would I want to add it to the landfill and go out of here, which is 2.5 hours to the store, to spend money on a Swiffer that, unless they've made major upgrades to the handle, it might still break. So, I know this video got really, really long. I'm really sorry. I will do a part 2. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys enjoy this and come back. The next video is filled with frugal tips and prepping, because remember, they go hand in hand. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Oh, also, don't forget, you don't have to watch this. You can just listen to me talk, unless you want to home in on the part where I show the Swiffer or the back of my pantry thing. And unless you want to watch me make a fool of myself at almost 65, because if you can't laugh at yourself, then that's pretty sad. All right, everybody, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh my God, I need more coffee. I definitely need coffee. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody. Keep your comments nice. Okay, bye.